2004 Yamaha G22 golf cart, gasoline engine. They have tremendous amount of body roll when driving, and they don't make sway bar kits for this, so I'm designing my own. Just from seeing in many sway bar, anti-roll bar, whatever you want to call it, stabilizer bar on vehicles, trucks, cars, whatever. And I got some sway bar links, made some brackets, but the brackets are not long enough for what I need to do here, so I've remade brackets somewhere. Yeah, here they are. They're longer. And the reason I'm making them longer is this vehicle has a lot of up and down movement, and when this piece here, that hole there, is going to go on here, it's going to get welded to this, and it has to be able to rotate as the vehicle goes up and down. However, when those brackets are welded on both ends, this piece of pipe, which is not spring steel, it's not solid, it's not like a real sway bar. Anyways, it's going to act as a sway bar and prevent body roll, and being that those levers are going to be longer, when they're on here, as the body moves up and down, as I'm hitting bumps or whatever, it'll allow it to move more than it would with these short ones. There would be very little movement in rotation. So I think it's going to bind up the chassis with these short ones, so I'm going with longer ones. I guess with the length, I had some pieces of steel that were this long, so that's how long they became. That's the length I determined through whatever I had in stock. That's when I'm making it. So anyway, I got these sway bar mounts with the bushings. I do need to remount this rubber. These are for 1-inch pipe or 1-inch sway bar, but this is 1 1/16 to 1 1/8, depending on where you measure it. Most of it's 1 1/8, so I'm going to have to ream these out. So it does have some slip in it. I still want it snug, but I want it to slip because it will rotate as the suspension goes up and down. And the whole main thing here is normal sway bars have made of spring steel. They will have twist and give in them a little bit. This is probably going to have 0 give in it. And if it does give, it's probably going to permanent set itself there because this is not spring steel. It's not going to spring back. So anyways, I made steel brackets here. When I bought these, they're Dorman. Just happens to be that. Took the rubber out, took the bracket, set it on these pieces of steel here that I did cut the length, had the width, but I just cut them the length, drilled and tapped the holes, and those are going to get welded to the frame underneath the golf cart. I have this frame mount up here. This is going to get mounted like that. I'm going to have to tweak the bracket location a little bit. It's getting into the bends on this piece. I want to keep it out of that area, just for welding purposes. Have nice flat spots. And then the bracket, when I put it on, it's going to go towards the front. And then I'm going to put on my sway bar link. It comes down. And then I have to make some brackets. They're going to bolt onto those fasteners and then bolt to the sway bar link. And I will video things as we go. This is a really old golf cart, but we use the heck out of it here. And it definitely needs this because the terrain we're going over isn't really rough, but it has lots of swales and swoops and gullies and whatever, and when you're driving along with it, you can hold the steering wheel straight and you hit a whoop-de-doo or whatever here, and then the golf cart changes direction almost because the body sways so much that it affects the steering. So hopefully this will eliminate a lot of that. And the keys are stuck in the creeper. So I'm going to get these brackets positioned exactly where I want them, tack weld them up there, and yeah, up there, and then I will come back and show you what it looks like when I have to that point. Yeah, these bushings fit so tight they're hard to slide. So I just might have to persuade it. Didn't move any. That moved it. Whole eighth of an inch. I don't know if I need to tweak it that much or maybe a little more. See what this one is. Yep, tweak it some more. A little too loose there. Bracket's wiggly, you can't measure to it when it's like that. Okay, that's good. Alright. Now I just need to get the welder out, get ready to tack everything up. I do have a line drawn on here, and I set my bushings where they split right on the line, cranked them all down. They both rotated the same amount, so it appears as it is that these two are in the same location this way. And not that that's critically important, but you want them close enough that they're sit flat on the frame. Right? Yeah, right. I gotta find somewhere with a good ground. Yeehaw. I guess we're going to try in a certain spot here. And we'll find out. It's going to be in the way of the bar. Do it right there. Where'd that frame rail go? Well, let's try it on the trail hitch first. And we'll see if we got a ground that makes it all the way over to there. If not, I'll have to come up with something different. Got to plug it in first. Barely reaches. Yeah, there we go. Cooking with gas now. And what do I do with the flashlight? Here it is. Battery dead. Fine. Put you on the charger also. I'm using the eyeball lining up. But I've got it clamped on there. And my eyeballs tell me it's good enough. So I'm going to get some tacks on it. And then take the brackets, the U-brackets off with the rubber bushings so I can weld the rest of it. Yes, well, let's see if we got a ground. Oops, I had to disconnect the battery real quick. And I do not have the right size wrenches. Come on. Oh, come on. Yeah, negative and positive, disconnected. Alright. Both my triggers, so some of my wire came out. Now, I need to clean out the shielder. See if we got any ground. Nope. Guess since I got that clamped up in there, I can clamp the ground on the bracket. Need to get some on the other side. Come on. One over here, and I can take these off. Didn't use a helmet because I'm not looking at what I'm doing, so you know how well that turns out. But you don't know me, so you don't know if that's how it's going to turn out. Maybe you don't know. Do something blind, and it really comes out wrong. Okay, release the clamp. And the brackets are staying right there, which is good. Minimal burnage on the rubber. And now I will use a helmet. And I'm going to be welding overhead and want to be able to see what I'm doing. Got to jump over a cord either way I go. Yep, see? Oh, it did come on. Back on. There it is. Dislike welding upside down. Such a pain. Especially, wiring harness hanging down in the way. Cutting out. Guess I need to get a bottle of water to be spraying. And put a little shield over some stuff here. Just like about that. Oh, don't want to use that one. That's rubbing alcohol. Tire juice, yes. That'll work. If I need it. I can double check something. Ground's okay. Yep. Helmet. Yeah, shield works good. I'm gonna roll over there. On the other side. Wish I was left-handed now. But I'm not. Well and heavy to light here, so that's why you're not hearing a nice crackle and pop on this. Because I do have the heat up and the wire slightly on the slow side. Because I don't want to get up and change it because I'm almost done. Okay. Get the ground wire out of the way here for now. See my shield work. Since all the batteries are dead, on little shop lights. Oh, come on, really? Why are you jacked up? Gotcha. Let's use this little shop light here. So I can get a little more light on the subject here. That works. Take you guys over here so you can see what it looks like now. Don't mind the bright light. So you can see I got the brackets welded on both sides. And that's that part. And now I'm going to let it cool. And maybe tomorrow morning come back in and pull everything back up so I can figure out where I'm going to locate my brackets on the actual pipe, where I want them sticking out towards the front of the vehicle, and get those tacked on. Ow, it's my head. It's not the next day, it's still that night. I decided to do a couple things further. And then put these brackets on the sway bar links, just so it's ready to go in the morning. I did cool the brackets down, spraying some water on them, wiped them off. I could continue, but it's already getting late tonight. Don't have anybody waiting at home, but I kind of want to go home. Yeah, both mounted like that. Slide over the end of this tube, get them located where I want these in relationship to everything else. Make sure they clear everything underneath the golf cart so they can move. Because once it's up under there and mounted, the chassis is going to move. This is going to resist movement, kind of try and equalize the movement on both sides, keep them both stable. That's why they call them stabilizer links or sway bars, anti-roll bar, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, bolt this all back up, stick this in there, figure out where my bottom brackets are going to hit, and then fabricate my bottom brackets. And bottom brackets, I already have these adjustment holes in it, so depending on where this lands, once it's all on there, I may have to adjust the height on it. It's not really going to make a difference on how it reacts, it's just keeping things out of the way of other things on there. And there are 2 bolt holes on there on the axles. I'm going to match those up to put this bracket on, and that will be sitting like this. This bracket is going to end up getting welded to the back side of this, where it will bolt up to the sway bar link. But I have to get these holes drilled, get this cut to length, take the bolts out, put this in. Probably put longer bolts in because the bolts that are in there are not that long. Probably not long enough to add 1/8 inch of material. So that's going to be tomorrow's task. Well, I'm hoping it all works out. We'll find out. Get working on it tomorrow. May end up being tomorrow evening. Don't know yet. Another thing I thought of, when this is mounted, is my frame rail that this is mounting to going to clear to these when this thing rotates, as the body moves up and down. And this thing does what it does. I may have to either round these off to clear it, or I may have to cut the back half of the bracket off and just have it welded on the front half, which is sufficient. But it was just easier to saw a hole through this entire bracket than try and put a half semi-moon cut through it. So, yeah, I got to watch out for that tomorrow too. think I'm just going to bolt this up now. Yeah, I think I'm going to. But I was hoping to use this line for a locator on these, because I did put center line cuts on the ends of there for lining up to make sure they're right. Maybe I'll just find how far apart I need these and tack weld them on there now, lining up these lines, and then make adjustments later. I don't know. Won't know until I get there. And no matter where I put you guys, it's going to be hard to see what I'm doing. You might catch that one over there. Yep. Come on. Stand my fingers. Oh, yeah, of course. I need to put my other brackets on because I can't get them on the end. Unless I offset them. Put one on and then move the other one in position to put it on. Yeah, that's it, did it. Wrong direction. Yeah, I'm going through all this. I'm going to take it right back off. I got to take these brackets and bushings home and see if I can ream them out. I got a 1-inch hole slot home. Might just be the ticket. Or maybe 1 inch 16. I probably don't. Yep, you're gonna have to do that. I'll just X-nay this bolt up A. That one's out. Where'd that one fall to? Good job. Gotta go looking for that one. Found it. There it is. That one should be tight. Oh, well, I could probably loosen it with my fingers and then drop everything on my face and break my nose. I did it before. There we go. Alright, got that. Cool. Alright, get these back off. Come on, you can do it. Slide on. Fine. See that one. Got it. Yeah, that was the end of my finger. Yep, got that one off. Alright. Take these home. See if I can ream these holes out, slide them out. Got a sample piece here to shoot for. And then we'll be back tomorrow. Bolt them two together to do that, to keep everything nice and flat. Well, I took this home last night, and I was going to try and bore out this hole with a hole saw, and I don't have the right size hole saw at home, so I tried to chew it out with a smaller one that didn't work at all. So I come up with this idea. Found a piece of thin wall tubing that is pretty much the same diameter as the tube that's going to be going through here. And I'm getting this thing red hot and just shaving the inside of this out to make it bigger. Show you how that works. This is hot enough, it's probably going to flame up. Then I'm going to start on that side and cut there. See, told you. Go down to there. Like so. Flip it over and check the other side. Need to do a little adjustment here. Had to make sure I got that in there tight enough so it didn't move when I'm pushing on it. I don't know if I got enough heat left in this to do what I want. You know, I need to do a little bit more on that. Test piece. Yep, fit nicely. Both sides. That worked. A little messy, but it worked. Yeah, a little flap in there. I'll just trim that out with a knife. That works out much better than trying to use a hole saw. I'll bring you guys over here, kind of see what I'm doing. Maybe. See how much of this can drop on my face. Here we've got hands. Apparently I ringed out these rubber bushings just right. I was going to slide the bar over. Get everything back lined up again. There, out of the way of anything. That's out of the way. Get you back on there. Got my tube centered using my finger thickness to gauge between the springs and the ends of the tubes. Close enough. That one just needs to be a little shorter. That's tight. Alright, I got that in place. Now I can work on these bottom brackets for down here. Get those made so I can put them in place, figure out exactly where everything needs to be. Can tack the top brackets in place, tack the bottom bracket, vertical bracket to the plate that I'm making, and then I can weld those up, and then that'll finish it, I hope. Alright. Got you back up on the workbench. Are you square? It doesn't matter. I figured out my bracket length. Got 2 marks on here. I'm going to cut there out of this piece. I can get the 2 pieces I need. chuck that up in the vise and use the bandsaw. And extend my lines down so I just have a little bit of guide, keep it fairly square and straight. Not that it matters that much as long as it fits. Yep, I cut the first one, check it. You got juice. There you are. All right. Go give this a check. Clean off the burr. Okay, yes, that fits. Well, cut the next one. Deburr. Now I'm just going to lay out my holes, drill my holes, and then I'll be done with those. And then I'll pop the bolts out of the rear axle attachments and insert these, and hopefully I don't have to put longer bolts in, but I'll probably have to go find some for contingency reasons. Yeah, contingency, big words. In case it don't work. Okay, we're 2 5/8, so half of that is 1 inch and 5/16. That's right there. And 1 3/4 center to center for the bolt holes. So if I go 7/8 this way, go to the 1 inch and go back and 1 3/4 from that mark. I have 1 3/4, and we're going to pop some. Not sure what size the fasteners are. Guess maybe I should pop one out, take a look and see what size hole I need. Guess it really doesn't matter. I'll put a 3/8 hole in it. Should be plenty. Should be. Might not be. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm set up in the drill press. I chucked up. Look at that. Chucked up both plates in the vise. Starting out with a 1/4 inch hole, and then I'll run it to 3/8. Getting low in oil. There it is. see you trying to tilt. Yeah, some of it came off. Three-eighths. There you are. Get up in there, little buddy. Yep, good. You can see I'm stopping and starting on the pressure to stop the squigglies from getting really long and flinging around on the drill bit. Great. Off. There we are. Hopefully they fit. Yeah. Clean up, get the oil off. I was just rubbing alcohol. Alright. That. These are my other brackets. Because this bracket here is going to mount on this bracket. Somewhere in here. I got to figure out where the sway bar link's going to come down and bolt into one of these 4 holes. Whichever looks comfortable. But I'm going to put these on next. Oh, wrong way. Now, what do we got here? That's not quite long enough. Not for my liking. I gotta go see if I've got 2 longer ones of these. Guess if I could get a washer off, there might be enough there. That looks like it's a factory deal. I don't want to take time on it. I'm going to find some different fasteners. Well, finding a fastener that fits this in my limited fastener finding spot, I was able to get that one washer off of here. However, I have to drill my holes bigger. I have to ream them out. Because I thought this 3/8 would have covered this no problem. Go figure. Okay, got the holes reamed. Got the flat washer off of there. He's going to go on like that. on there. And I just have to figure out bracket on here where I want it, to and fro. Okay, and where do I want that? Right at the end of the tube right there, which makes for easy welding. Keeps it away from that. So this has got to go upside down on the back here, like that. And just need to stick a bolt through here. Figure out what hole I want. Well, move just a little bit, like that. Not quite square. That might just be good. I need to put a nut on here. Maybe I want to go to the next hole up. One hit something. I'll stick it in the next hole up, and then go take a look, see what I'm hitting. I don't want to hit it. Oh yeah. Yep. Let's see. So the further out I have this, the better. And yeah. Remember yesterday when I said something about cutting the back half of them flanges off, or those brackets off, because they're going to hit the frame rail? Yep. That's going to have to happen. So I just need to get this in position, tack it, partially weld it, and then cut those off. As far as this goes, my location, yeah, it certainly can't be up that high. Because the portion I can't cut off is hitting up on the tube up top. So I guess I need to do that. You can stay there? Okay, if it stays there, I can go look and see. Things look good. Yeah, I definitely need to move it to the outer edge of the tube. Getting this thing square. I do need to put a nut on it. And if I can't use those upper adjustments, maybe I'll just cut that bracket in half and use it on the other side and save myself the other bracket. Because that certainly looks like it's either going to be that hole or the bottom hole that I'm going to need to use. So yeah. Yep. That's what I'm going to have to do. Cut this bracket in half. I can use it on the other side also. Okay, got that cut down. That's going to end up there. Need to flip it side to side here, and then I'll clamp it on with a pair of vice grips. Right there. Like that. Heat up a little more. Come on. Like that. Tighten up. There we go. Looks cool there. Up here, just need to tack it. Just need to tack it on there. That covers that side. Yep. So, get the welder back out, and we'll get in there and get those tacks made. Okay. Get in here and do some tacking. Okay. I'm going to put a tack on this bottom bracket. Oh, and no ground on there. That's in the way. Too much wire sticking out. Safety squint. No, I didn't. I use this to shield the light. It does get bright, and I'm not quite looking at it anyway. So the tacks sometimes go all over the place. Alright, that's that one. Now it's going to be rinse and repeat for the other side. And I'll bring you guys in here and you can see what's going on. Taking up through here. And we're going to go sideways. As you can see, that's going there, and that's going down there. And that's going all the way across. back when I get the other side done. Those are tight. Grab the other bracket and a bolt and a nut. Vice grips, welding clamp. Going for the roll hole in this one too. That. I'm going to put it in the same position as the other side. Go ahead and clamp this. Just like that. Check the top side. Yep, just going to hold that over and tack that one on there in the same spot like I did the other side. Right. Yep. That'll do her. got enough weld on those, and I'm gonna slit so I don't weld too far on them. I gotta slit the backs off because they're fitting the frame. And yeah, I think now I can loosen these up, take them off, get them out of there before heat gets the rubber. And then, it's going to pull the brackets. I can take these out. It's expected. So of course you're going to keep coming down this way. And I can't get the saw down flat, so I'm going to end up having to use a cutoff wheel on that. I guess I'll cut everything I can with the saw, and then I'll finish with the cutoff. And the little cutoff's going to leave a wider path than what this does. Cutoff wheel. Death wheel coming up. Hot floor bracket. Can't see a thing out of those. Can't see a thing out of that one. These look good. Yeah, gooder. Get the other side cut all the way through. Apparently not. Yeah, well, that was junk. No Allen wrench in the drawer that fits the top of this cutoff wheel nut. What? No Allen wrench. Looks like we don't have a wrench to hold the spindle either. You gotta be kidding me. Guess we go to the wrench drawer. Of course, I got that wrench out. This one works. Oh, really? How's that got a chunk out of it and it hasn't even been used? Seriously? Alright, fixed. So the next guy has something to use. Oh, yo! Yes. Okay. That's what I was doing here. Guess we do need a little weld on the opposite sides just to make sure no lateral forces do anything to it. Really? What are you sticking for? Could be because I got all this buildup on the end of my tip. Well, the guy might have his pipe, so I'm getting a lot of unwanted gases in the weld. Alright, come on. Pull it over and get the others. Okay. Kind of weld on you. Good enough for what it's for. Ain't none of those brackets straight. Cut it out. Any more of that, and you'd have seen the putter throw. Okay, wire brush time. Wire brush moved. Time for a speedy cool off. Watch the white galvanized smoke come out of here. I don't want the compressor turned back on, so I'm just going to set this on the floor, let it cool. Well, they're all welded up. Cooled it down in some cold water because I was tired of waiting. Cleaned it all off with alcohol. Gonna spray some paint on it. Spray paint on the other brackets and assemble this tomorrow. Okay, well, I prime painted them. And there's driver's side. Didn't wait for the paint to dry, but stuck it on there anyway. Yeah, I'm curious to see if this works. And there's passenger side. Everything's bolted up, tightened up. I need longer bolts on the sway bar lengths and lock washers or locking nuts. So I will have to get those later, but it's good enough to test. And I'm going to get longer bolts for those guys down here. Those things are barely 3/4 of an inch long. I want to get some inch and a quarters, and they can come out the bottom because they got room. So that's now for a test drive. Well, I took it for a test drive, and I noticed right down there, I need to put a big fat washer on that side of the bolt. Should have thought that through. Starting to slide the bottom focus. Starting to slide it on both sides, so I'm going to pull that, put a big washer on it. Okay, washer's installed right there. It should keep that from moving around like it did. Both sides. Through there. Oh, skid! Darn it, I gotta adjust the brakes now. Now that test drive video is really hard to see how that made a difference because I didn't test drive it before. I know I've been driving this thing for 6 years now, and without a stabilizer bar in the back, you can be going across the property, hit some whoop-de-doos, and it'll actually, like, if you're on the road, it would change lanes without even moving the steering wheel because of the body roll and how it would affect the front tires and how they were tracking in the steering. With the stabilizer bar, I've been able to go out there at full speed and turn the wheel right and left, and the thing stays controllable. I went over one whoop-de-doo, and the thing stayed going straight, and it made a big difference. But I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but we run over 12 acres of land around here, doing all kinds of maintenance repairs and whatever has to be done. And having this stabilizer bar, sway bar, whatever on there is going to make that ride a lot easier. So for today, Papa CJ out.